Every house we build needs permits. These are like permission slips from your township saying your build is approved. We will be highlighting these often overlooked costs to help educate our RGB customers and provide you with a greater confidence in the building process. Berms, rain gardens, and water retention. When you build a house, you will have to make sure water flows correctly on it. That's where berms, rain gardens, and water retention comes in. They help manage rainwater on your land. How big and how much they cost depends on how much of your land is covered by things like your house or driveway, which is called impervious. These don't soak up water. Engineers and permits like grading or NPDES permits may also decide what size you need. These features might be required by your township and can add to the budget. So it's a good idea to discuss this with us at RGB Custom Builders early on in the process. This berm to the right of me is for a new house that we're building. This berm is for water retention that was required by an NPDES permit for this lot. Land surveying costs. Before you build, you'll need to know exactly where your land starts and ends. That's what land surveyors do. They mark the corners of your lot and show where your house will go. Most townships need a map called a plot plan or a survey before you can build. This helps you, the township, and RGB Custom Builders know how far your home needs to be from property lines and if there are any other areas you can't build on. The price depends on how big your land is and how much detail the map needs. To the right of me is just an example of one of our lots and what a survey pin can look like. Closing costs. Closing costs are extra fees you pay at the end of the contract signing process. They don't come with your home's contract price, so it's something to plan for. One common closing cost is paying your real estate agent a small percentage of the total price of the home. Knowing about closing costs early means fewer surprises when it's time to finish your purchase. RGB Custom Builders will go over these costs with you prior to the closing. Permits for townships and developments. Every house we build needs permits. These are like permission slips from your township saying your build is approved. Each township has different rules, and sometimes you don't know the cost of the permits until you apply. Some townships want engineers to review your plans or might ask for grading plans. This adds time and money. If you disturb more than an acre of land, you'll need a special permit called an NPDES permit. That also takes engineers as well and costs more. RGB Custom Builders is very familiar with all the townships and boroughs in the area and will be able to give you a rough estimate of how much permits for the house will cost. Weather delays and weather costs. Bad weather can slow down building your home. Rain, snow, or big storms can stop things like excavation, framing, or pouring concrete. If it's cold, you might need to heat the house with special heaters or even turn on the installed HVAC system early. All of that uses electricity or propane, which the homeowner pays for. RGB will keep you updated throughout the entire construction of your house to keep you informed in the progress and delays that may happen. Fill needed for grading. Your home needs solid, level ground around it. That's why we add fill, which is called extra dirt, to add around the land. Fill helps water drain away from your home and protects your foundation from frost in the winter. It also makes your yard easier to use and walk on. Most of the time, the cost for your fill is listed as an allowance in your contract for an estimate, but it can still go over depending on what's needed. For RGB Custom Builders, we grade what the property provides with dirt or rocks at the home site unless fill is added. Like this house right behind me, we used all the dirt that was on the site. We will still suggest landscapers in our area after we are completed with the home. Selection upgrades. When it's time to choose how your home looks on the inside and outside, you get to pick the things like flooring, siding, cabinets, tile, and more. But if you want higher end items or upgrades, those usually aren't part of the original contract. Upgrades are added later as extras, and most people end up spending about 3 to 8% more than the starting price of the home. It's totally okay to upgrade your items, but it helps to know that you can end up spending more money on an upgrade up front. You can talk to us at RGB Custom Builders about the cost of these potential upgrades.